The most incredible story in China. How accurate is fortune-telling? Celebrity fortune-telling, Part 1. The universe is infinite, but life is limited. If you don't know it, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. My name is Zhang Wuji. Today, I will introduce the most incredible story in China, Chinese fortune-telling. Fortune-telling, how accurate will it be? We will launch a series of stories, including fortune-telling stories of political figures, celebrities in the literary and art circles, and ordinary people in the countryside. Many people like to talk about the four quintessences of Chinese people. In fact, fortune-telling is also the quintessence of traditional Chinese culture. Marginalized. But like it or not, it's always been there, so we might as well demystify it. Before I immigrated abroad, I was in charge of dealing with people from all walks of life in relevant departments for a few years. I was fortunate enough to see all kinds of strange people and strange people that ordinary people can't see, of course including mysterious fortune tellers. Among them, the most impressive thing is a top fortune teller with the surname Huang living in Shenzhen. I have been observing and recording closely for 3 years, and I have seen more than a few hundred cases of his calculations with my own eyes. There are more than 10,000 cases, many of whom are celebrities from all walks of life in Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Macao, and Guangzhou. And I came to two extreme conclusions. Life and death are almost 100% accurate, but if I look at the stock market, the accuracy rate is less than 20%, which is not as good as ordinary people's random guesses. According to my 3 years of observation, it is roughly the same. Why? Well, this is worthy of deep consideration by those who are interested. Below we try to give an introduction to the fortune-telling stories that are publicized by public figures in the media. Guo Baochang, a well-known first-line director in China, the fortune teller once said everything about me. When he was interviewed by Phoenix Satellite TV, he told this incredible fortune-telling story that really happened. Guo Baochang said, "I used to tell fortunes when I was young. Once, I was a very good fortune teller in Beijing. He would be in his 60s or 70s, blind in both eyes. At that time, countless masters and everyone would go to him for fortune-telling. It works, and I also know a lot of stories about his success, so when I was 16 years old, I went to him, secretly. I didn't dare to let my mother know, I just wanted to figure out where I came from. Who bought me? Who sold me? Where are my parents? It would be a mystery to me, I don't know at all, because someone revealed that you are not from this family, so I wanted to find out, so I found this master. His fortune-telling for me almost made me stunned." Guo Baochang said, "I still remember the first sentence he said very clearly. He said that your parents died when you were young, and your aunt raised you the biggest. It happened that the old lady who bought me was put in her natal home first. I call her aunt. And what the meeting knew was that both parents died. I thought at that time that I said, 'Do you know about me?' I said at the time that you should stop talking about it, and I said, 'Who told you?' He was in a hurry. He said, 'You can count, you can go, you don't have to believe it.' The fortune teller predicted that he would have 12 years of luck, that is, a change every 12 years, a cycle. Guo Baochang said that the fortune teller had told all about the past and the next few decades, and after verification, none of them were inaccurate. So why did I say so many things later? They all said I was superstitious, and I said I had to believe it. If he is wrong, then I must say that he is talking nonsense." In The Mansion Gate, directed by Guo Baochang, Xiangxiu is the aunt mentioned by Guo Baochang and the prototype of his adoptive mother, while Bai Jingqi is the prototype of his adoptive father. Guo Baochang's original name was Li Baochang. His father froze to death on the street. He was sold by his mother when he was 2 years old. After several resales, he was adopted by the fourth master of Li Jiale in Tongrintang. He changed his mother's surname to Guo Baochang. Guo Baochang recalled that when the fortune teller asserted that he would be imprisoned at the age of 23 or 24, he felt it was unbelievable. He was very angry and retorted that I would be imprisoned. It's nonsense to say that I'm in jail. As a result, at the age of 24, I was found out as a counter-revolutionary and sent to the farm for labor reform. Guo Baochang was afraid when he thought about it later, and it was so accurate. He said that you have no money to spend in middle age, and you have no ancestral property to inherit. I think it is even more ridiculous. I have no money to spend, and my family is rich. How much does it cost? How can I not have an inheritance from my ancestors? My mother gave me all her money. How is it possible? As a result, the Cultural Revolution robbed them all of their property in one fell swoop. Guo Baochang said that the 12-year cycle that the fortune teller said is too accurate. He said that you will change your luck at the age of 12, change your surname and change your name. The fact is that I entered the mansion at the age of 12. At the age of 24, if I reversed my luck, I would be imprisoned. At the age of 24, I would go to prison. I overthrew the Gang of Four at the age of 36, and I began to rehabilitate. You see, I was 48 years old. I didn't enter a studio until I arrived in Shenzhen. As early as the 1950s, when Guo Baochang was 16 years old in high school, he began to write the novel The Mansion Gate. He was admitted to the Beijing Film Academy after writing half of the novel. At the age of 24, all the manuscripts were confiscated and became one of his counter-revolutionary crimes. He erected a monument for the reactionary capitalists. These manuscripts were not recovered until the policy was implemented. The Cultural Revolution followed, and one of his collections, the files in the boxes, were also set ablaze by the Red Guards. Time came to 2000, and the Mansion Gate finally appeared on CCTV. This story of Guo Baochang's dream for more than 40 years has aroused strong repercussions from all walks of life. Guo Baochang, who was 60 years old at the time, also became a smash hit director of film and television dramas. Guo Baochang said that the most amazing thing is that he counted that I will die when I am 64 years old, and I can't count it anymore. He said that you will die when you are 64 years old, and I can't count it. He said it should be like this, but the fate of a person can be changed. If you can pass this hurdle at the age of 64, you should live to be 70 or 80 years old. Guo Baochang said with a smile, when I was 64 years old, I didn't even dare to go out. I stayed at home when I was 64 years old. I was afraid that the house would collapse. Don't take the boat, don't take the plane. I stayed at home honestly that year, but I got away with it. So the mentality now is that all the days after the age of 64 are earned. I have lived to more than 70 now, and I am already very content. After experiencing this miraculous fortune-telling story and a life full of ups and downs, Guo Baochang is now more peaceful and calm in character, and sometimes has the stubbornness of a man of temperament. The second story today is the fortune-telling story of Huang, one of the four great talents in Hong Kong. At the age of 48, he asked the Iron God to calculate Dong Mujie's life approval, and the process was very exciting. Iron God number is a strange and mysterious magic number. Taiban Shinshu is a kind of fortune-telling method. Because Dong Mujie, the master who mastered the tricks of the iron plate magic number, doesn't like publicity very much, so everyone only calls him the master of magic numbers. Hong Kong, Macao, and Taiwan are overseas. There are countless people who have met him, and they are all dissatisfied. Many people have prepared small tape recorders for future verification. Master Shinshu will never interfere, and any form of recording is welcome. What's different is that when Dong Mujie told his fortune, there were 12 books on a very huge desk. These 12 books are the main components of the mysterious Taiban Shinshu. The title of the book is Shao Kangjie Huangji Jingshi Shu. Huang recalled that he flipped through those books casually. Books are very strange. In each book, there are 1,000 sentences of different lengths, and there is a number above each sentence. For example, for Article 106 of the 5th book, the number is 5106. For Article 830 of the 11th book, the number is 1830, and so on. The grammar of those sentences is also quite peculiar. Generally speaking, it is half classical Chinese and half self-contained. Presumably, it should be the spoken language of the Song dynasty. Xiao Kangjie is from the northern Song dynasty, and he and Sima Guang are good friends. It is quite interesting and it is concise and powerful, and the tone is also affirmative, not ambiguous. This is very important, because the general warlocks of the rivers and lakes, what they say is not so decisive, but slippery words that have a lot of room to stretch up, down, left, and right. For example, if you flip through it casually, among the sentences you see, there are the right arm will be broken, not an ordinary arm injury, the whole family will die unexpectedly, and I will survive alone, what a terrible fate. There is such an accurate conclusion as the first child at the age of 43, not the vague middle-aged childbirth, all people meet in life, career, love, education, health, etc., all human behaviors. Everything is included. 12 books have a total of 12,000 sentences, and all the words can be combined up and down to form new sentences. According to the formula of permutation and combination, the number of sentences that can be formed is almost infinite. In other words, as long as a person is a person, his life's destiny is all included in the set of 12 books. Such a wonderful set of books can really be called the Book of Heaven. Of course, it is useless to have the Book of Heaven, because you don't know which one of them is related to which person. There must be a calculation method. Through this calculation method, you can find the relevant and want to know your past and future. People's records. This fortune-telling method is divided into two parts. 1. In the Book of Heaven, there are records of the fate of all people in the world. 2. Find out the required records through a calculation method. This calculation method is naturally another important part of the teppanyaki number, which can be referred to as a formula for short. Therefore, to understand the process of Taiban Shinshu, you must know, a method, a set of books from heaven, is the most important. In theory, as long as you master the calculation method, formula, and have this set of books, everyone can do it. It achieves the same effect as the master of numbers, accurately calculating people's fate and experience. Talking about the result of this order, N.I. Huang's evaluation is, he calculated the past events for me, which is extremely accurate, including the year I escaped from Hong Kong, the year I got married, and the year I published the book, all of which are very detailed and very accurate. Precise. But the future is speculated to be ambiguous. N.I. Huang recalled that when Dong Mujie told his fortune, an interesting incident happened. At that time Dong said, "There are 8 brothers and sisters in your family." N.I. Huang laughed, thinking to himself, what kind of bullshit master, talking nonsense, he is a liar. He said to Dong, "There are 7 brothers and sisters in my family." Master Dong asked N.I. Huang to recall it again, and N.I. Huang was angry. "How many brothers and sisters do I have? Don't I know it myself?" After N.I. Huang returned home, he inadvertently mentioned this matter to his mother, who told him that the master's calculation was correct, and another one died. Dr. Zheng's comment. The story about fortune-telling can be said to be one of the incredible stories in China that I have been most concerned about for decades, and I have personally witnessed countless cases over the past few decades. Although not all of them are necessarily so accurate, the accuracy of fortune-telling by top fortune-telling masters completely exceeds the level that modern mathematical probability theory can explain. For example, Master Huang, a fortune-teller who is active in Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and other places mentioned above, is also my good friend. He not only calculated the little-known details of my past history, but also calculated when I got the first pot of gold. When the first child was born, when it was a boy or a girl, when it immigrated, it was all accurate. The most surprising thing is that he not only tells fortunes, but also has other abilities, which are even more amazing. Well, that's all for today. as we roll out some of China's most incredible stories every week. I hope everyone supports. Welcome to discuss. Remember to subscribe to encourage us to continue to create. Thank you.